Hello, this is Kelly reporting from Jacksonville, Florida about hurricane. It is devastating here. Major winds, 80 miles per hour. Storm surge flooding the backyard. The dock is almost totally underwater. Good thing I raised the boat. That's about the only thing you can see out there. It is just so windy and devastating. It's horrible. Oh wait, I'm just kidding. That footage you saw was from 2017 Hurricane Irma. Right here in Jacksonville, we lucked out on this one. Current position of the storm is it's crossing into Georgia right now. It's northwest of us, it's tracking northeast, and it's already started to move away from us. Yesterday, we spent the day preparing for the storm because we knew it'd be windy, and this probably won't be the last hurricane to come nearby for the season. So we do what we do every year when the first hurricane's approaching, and that is take down anything from the patio and the porches that might blow away. I go out to the boat dock out there. I empty the dock box, bring everything back up to the house. Kayaks that I keep out there normally, bring them up to the house. I raise the boat as high in the lift as it will go, and I tie lines to it. Around the house, we take down plants, and I even took down the canopy over our barbecue grill just to be on the safe side. So that's what we did yesterday. While we were out there preparing for the storm, it got me thinking about my brand new Tesla. So this will be the first hurricane with the Tesla. And it got me thinking, what should I do with the car? Should I charge the car higher percentage than normal? Should I leave it plugged in? Can I power house appliances using it? Can I power smaller things? What would I do if I needed to evacuate? I'm going to go inside for the rest of this video and get out of this weather so you don't have to listen to the wind noise while I answer these questions.
This is much better indoors without the wind noise. I apologize for that. I guess I need to invest in a microphone that can handle the wind noise outdoors. So as I was mentioning, as I was preparing the outside of our house for an upcoming hurricane, I started thinking of questions, and the first one was, should I charge my car to 100%? I actually got a message from Tesla, which I'll show on this. It showed up on my screen. So it says, a storm is forecasted for your area and may impact charging stations in the region. We recommend charging your Tesla to 100% to reduce the storm's impact on your travel plans. You can review the live status and availability of superchargers along your route by tapping the supercharger pins in your vehicle's touchscreen. So I thought about that. Normally what I do is I charge to 80% every night because that's the Tesla recommendation. I thought it makes sense if you're evacuating to maybe go ahead and charge to 100%, but in this particular case I was not going to evacuate. A storm is not going to direct hit Jacksonville, and even if it was going to directly hit, normally you don't have to evacuate very far away. Even the governor said, it's not necessary to leave the state of Florida just because a hurricane's coming. Normally you can go tens of miles to higher ground to a safe location to protect yourself. So I think in my case, I'm not going to charge to 100% unless I know 100% I'm going to drive off, evacuate, leave the state in my Tesla. Otherwise, there's not really much of a point. Also, I got a gas car, and it's fully loaded with gas too, so there's really no need. I'm only going to take one car. I'm not sure which I would take. I'd probably take the gas car because I really don't want to drive my Tesla out in a storm and risk damaging it since it's my newest car. I did charge to 85% instead of 80%, just in case there was like a power outage and it lasted a long time. It doesn't look like that's going to be the case this time. Second question I had was, should I leave the car plugged in during a hurricane. And I decided that the night before I would top off the car to 85%, but then I did unplug it today. And the reason I did is I was worried about storms, electrical storms, power surges, and a lightning strike maybe going through the wall connector and screwing up the charger on the car itself. So to me, the safest thing to do was to leave it unplugged during the day as the storm passes by. Another related thing would be, what if I decided to leave the house, evacuate, not take the Tesla though? Should I leave it plugged in or leave it unplugged? And I think what I would have done if I had to evacuate is I probably would have left it unplugged. I mean, it's at 85%. I know it can lose like 1% charge a day, but for the same reasons as before during the hurricane, is if the power goes out and comes back on, there could be power surges. I don't want to do anything that would risk screwing up the battery or the charger on the car or on the wall connector. So I would leave it unplugged, and I'd probably just go ahead and turn the breaker off to the wall connector that I have as well. Anything to save myself from damaging the electronics in the wall connector, I think would be a good idea. Next question. Can I power appliances from my Tesla Model Y? I'm talking things like refrigerators, freezers, air conditioners, your waffle iron, your microwave, your TV. The answer is no. Well, first of all, there is no 120 house outlet plug in your car to begin with. You do have cigarette lighter, DC plugs, and you could get a converter that would convert that DC power into AC, but the power limit, I believe, would be around 150 watts. So maybe you could power some lights or lamp or something like that if you wanted, but you're not going to power your fridge or freezer or anything big. And even though you've got a huge battery in the car that probably would be capable of it, Tesla does not give you a way to do that. I'm sure they would prefer that you get their wall thing. So, short answer, don't try it. Don't do it unless you want to electrocute yourself. So I can't use my car to power appliances. Can I use it to power smaller things? The answer to that is definitely yes. So my car comes with USB-C connectors or outlets and stuff. So you can charge cell phones and little battery packs that you want to use. Probably small computers or laptops with it. I mentioned you have cigarette lighters, so emergency radios and things like that would use DC. You could definitely use that to power smaller things as well. A note about that, if you are going to use your car to power or charge your phones and smaller electronics like that, make sure you enable camp mode, because not everyone knows, but besides the big battery that actually lets your car drive down the road, your car also has a 12-volt battery, and that's what's used for the electronics in the car, like the radio and unlocking the doors, and it also is what is powering the USB-C and DC outlets in your car itself. So the camp mode, what that does is it makes sure that your 12-volt batteries don't get depleted. Actually, I think you got one battery. Make sure that it doesn't get depleted. The other thing is, if you don't have camp mode on, your car is going to go to sleep. It's going to power itself off. So if you go plug in your phone or use the wireless charger and then you just leave your car, it's going to power itself off. So all those outlets are going to power off unless you enable camp mode or you have the car on like as if you're about ready to drive. Some concluding remarks. I think it's a good idea to go with the Tesla recommendation, which is normally to charge your car to 80% every night. So every night when I'm done driving for the day, I plug in the car and I've got it scheduled to charge to 80% starting at 10 p.m. because that's what the electric company likes me to do. And that way you know that you've got a good charge for the next day. We've had occasions where a freak storm will show up or we'll have a power outage, an unexpected power outage that lasts for a day or two. So that's a good reason to make sure you top off your car to 80% every day, just in case some situation like that happens. I've been tempted to just drive the car until I get down to maybe 20% and then plug it in. And like I said, the risk of that is if you have an unexpected power outage, you're sort of screwed. The other thing I want to say is it's nice that you have backup power for your phones and small electronics if you need it, and you don't have battery packs and things like that already charged up. The car can help you that way. Worst case, let's say it's super hot out and you lose power and you have no air conditioning because you lost power. Well, you could sleep in your car, camp out in the back, use the camp mode, and run the AC for a day, and it would get you by through the night. So that's another nice thing. Finally, don't do anything that's not recommended, such as trying to tap into the main battery to power appliances. It's a good way to get yourself killed or electrocuted, and we don't want that. All right, I hope everyone's staying safe from the hurricane, and I'll see you in the next video.